When Bronny James was selected by the Los Angeles Lakers in the NBA draft, the basketball world held its breath. As the son of LeBron James, one of the greatest players to ever grace the court, the expectations were sky high. Everyone was eager to see if Bronny could follow in his father's legendary footsteps. Yet, what once seemed like a fairy tale has taken a sharp turn into a story of potential disappointment. LeBron's dream of creating an NBA family dynasty may have unintentionally sabotaged his son's career before it even had a chance to truly begin. Before we dive deep into this topic, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content. Your support means everything to us and helps us continue delivering the best basketball analysis out there. From day one, Bronny James has lived under the inescapable shadow of his father, LeBron. Not only is he burdened by the weight of being the son of a basketball legend, but he's also faced immense expectations from the media, fans, and, of course, his own father. LeBron's dominance in the NBA fueled the hope that Bronny would naturally follow in his footsteps. However, what many failed to consider is that Bronny simply wasn't ready for that kind of pressure. The harsh reality is that if Bronny didn't carry the James name, he likely wouldn't have been selected in the NBA draft, or at least not in such a favorable position. His performance at the University of Southern California, USC, already suggested he wasn't ready for the NBA leap. With averages of just 4.8 points and 2.8 rebounds per game, those aren't the stats of someone primed for the elite level of world basketball. Despite this, his last name and his father's influence pushed him onto the Lakers roster, a move that felt more symbolic than based on actual merit. Performance in the NCAA, an ignored warning. Bronny's college career at USC already hinted that he wasn't ready for the professional stage. While some considered him a promising defensive prospect, his offensive stats were undeniably underwhelming. Averaging just 4.8 points per game, these numbers raised red flags, especially when compared to other NBA hopefuls. These are not the stats of someone expected to succeed in the most competitive basketball league in the world. Yet his last name and family connections seemed to outweigh his actual performance on the court. In a draft brimming with players who had real talent and potential, Bronny was selected 55th overall, a relatively low position, but still ahead of players with better stats. This choice sparked criticism, with many viewing it as more of a gesture to fulfill LeBron's dream of playing alongside his son, rather than a selection based on merit. The decision felt like a symbolic move, prioritizing family legacy over performance and future potential. What happened after the draft was no more encouraging. The NBA Summer League, often the first stage where rookies have the chance to prove their worth, offered a glimpse into what was to come. And it wasn't promising for Bronny. Despite multiple opportunities, he failed to stand out. Across several games, he averaged just 7.0 points, a disappointingly low number for someone fighting to secure a spot in the Lakers' rotation. However, the worst was yet to come in the preseason. In his first 3 games with the Lakers, Bronny's scoring dropped to a shocking 0.7 points per game. That's less than a point per game, a troubling stat for any player, but even more so for someone carrying the expectations Bronny does. Over 33 minutes across 3 games, he has managed only 2 points. Even more concerning is his shooting efficiency. Out of 11 shot attempts, only 1 has found the basket. His shooting struggles, combined with a tendency for turnovers, have made his presence on the court more of a liability than a contribution. As for rebounds and assists, Bronny's numbers haven't been any more encouraging. He's averaging just 1 rebound per game and 0.3 assists, far below what's expected even from a role player in the NBA. Adding to the concerns are his 5 turnovers and 3 fouls in his first 3 games, only fueling the criticism that continues to mount around him. On the surface, it seems that LeBron's dream of sharing the court with his son might be doing more harm than good for Bronny. While LeBron has been an influential figure both on and off the court, that same influence may now be stifling Bronny's natural development. Rather than allowing his son to carve his own path, the decision to bring him to the Lakers has created an unsustainable situation. The Lakers, a franchise known for its competitive history, now finds itself in an awkward position. Bronny's presence on the roster feels more like a marketing strategy than a sound basketball decision. This, in turn, places immense pressure on Bronny to prove that he belongs on the team for reasons beyond being LeBron's son. Unfortunately, up to this point, he has struggled to show that. The weight of being LeBron's son. One of Bronny's biggest challenges is that his last name carries more weight than his talent. Being LeBron's son has undoubtedly opened doors for him, but it has also created impossible expectations. Most NBA players arrive in the league after years of hard work and sacrifice, earning their spot through grit and growth. Bronny, on the other hand, seems to have been fast-tracked into the NBA without proving enough to justify being there. Many basketball analysts and fans agree that Bronny should have taken a different path. Perhaps more time developing in college or even the G League would have given him the opportunity to refine his skills before stepping into the pressure cooker that is the NBA. But LeBron, it appears, was eager to share the court with his son before his own legendary career reached its end. While this desire is understandable on a personal level, it has led to a professional misstep for Bronny. At this point, the big question is whether Bronny can bounce back from this rough start. The NBA is not a league that waits for anyone. Players who don't perform are quickly replaced, and Bronny is no exception. Unless he manages to drastically elevate his game in the coming months, he could find himself relegated to the bench, or worse, out of the league altogether. There are still some who believe that Bronny has time to turn things around. After all, he's young and possesses the physical tools to succeed. But for that to happen, he needs to step out of his father's shadow and begin forging his own path. The Lakers, meanwhile, will have to seriously evaluate whether keeping Bronny on the team makes sense from a competitive standpoint, or if it's simply LeBron's personal wish, a decision that could end up costing the franchise in the long run. LeBron James, in his eagerness to share the court with his son, may have inadvertently jeopardized Bronny's career before it truly began. Unreasonable expectations, a lack of proper development, and the immense pressure of being LeBron's son have all contributed to Bronny's disappointing start in the NBA. If he doesn't elevate his game soon, his future in the league is at serious risk. Sometimes personal dreams can lead to devastating professional consequences, and unfortunately, this seems to be the case for the James family. What do you think? Would Bronny have developed into a better player if he had followed the typical path to the NBA? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the analysis. Your support helps us continue bringing you the best basketball content.